welcome back to my channel. So in the last part of the video we have discussed about the digestive tract or basically the alimentary canal. So as I have told you in this part of the video we will going to discuss about the associated glands. So what are associated glands? Let's begin. So basically the associated glands, in simple word we can say the one which help or associate the alimentary canal in performing its function. What function? We have discussed in the last part of the video, that is breaking down of the food into simpler one. So basically in this diagram you can see there are 5 types of associated gland. One is the salivary gland, second is the stomach, third is the liver, fourth is the pancreas, and fifth is the intestinal gland. So now we are going to discuss all of them in detail. Let's begin. First of all, we are going to discuss about the salivary gland. Before discussing about the salivary gland, have you ever wondered why when you think of food, certain tasty food, or when you see plate full of delicious meal, your mouth waters? Your answer to your question is because water secretes from your mouth. What is this water? Is the saliva. From where does it come? From the salivary gland. So here is the answer to all of your questions. So basically the salivary gland secretes a mucus-like structure known as the saliva. You can see here a diagram. These are the 3 types of salivary gland. One is the parotid gland that is present just beneath the ear. Second is the sublingual gland that is present just beneath the tongue, and then is the submaxillary gland that is present medial of the mouth basically, and all these 3 together form the salivary gland. Okay, so what does the saliva do? Basically the saliva contain enzyme known as the salivary amylase. What does the salivary amylase do? Salivary amylase is responsible for breaking down of carbohydrate. So the digestion of carbohydrate basically takes place by the salivary amylase, which we are going to discuss in our upcoming video of digestion, how the digestion of carbohydrate, protein and fat takes place. Next, 2 important enzymes which are secreted from this salivary gland is the lysozyme as well as the amylase enzyme. The role of amylase, as you have already seen and we have discussed already. And what does lysozyme do? Basically it kills the bacteria which is present inside our mouth. And one more thing which is important, which secretes by the saliva, is the mucin. What does the mucin do? Basically it lubricates our mouth and helps in swallowing of the food which we take in. Okay. So apart from that, the saliva helps in the speech purpose and making and keeping our mouth clean and healthy, and keeping our teeth also healthy. So basically it helps in the killing of the germs. Speech purpose. Apart from the digestion, it has an additional role. So this is all about the salivary gland. Moving to the next part of the associated gland, that is the gastric gland, which is secreted from this stomach. And we have already discussed in detail about the structure of stomach, that is basically it is of 3 parts it is divided. First part is the fundic region, second part is the cardiac region, and the third part is the pyrolytic region, which is joined to the duodenum region. You can see here in this diagram. So what does this parts do? So the fundic region from the fundus, okay, so from the fundus, the fundic region, that is the HCl is secreted and pepsinogen as well as mucin is secreted. What does the HCl do? Basically it kills the bacteria which is present in the food and also helps in the breakdown of certain enzyme as well as the food. Second, what does the pepsinogen do? Basically it breaks down the protein. In the digestion of protein we are going to discuss it further. And the role of mucin, as already discussed, helps in the lubrication. Next, coming to the next part is the pyrolytic region. So pyrolytic region secretes a very important hormone known as gastric hormone, The role of gastrin hormone we are going to discuss in the upcoming video, when we are going to discuss about the hormones related to the gastrointestinal tract. So, basically this pyrolic region is mainly rich in the mucin. Okay. Why it is, so you can see here the significance, as it is rich in the mucin. So, when the food from the stomach reaches the intestine, it can easily smoothly reaches the intestine because of this mucin, presence of the mucin. Okay. So, this is the significance. Next, coming to the next part, that is the cardiac gland. Okay. The cardiac gland secretes mucin as well as a small amount of pepsinogen. So, in short we can say the stomach region or the gastric glands helps in the digestion of protein, and the salivary glands helps in the digestion of carbohydrate. Detail we will study in the upcoming video. Apart from that, we have discussed that it kills the bacteria in the food as well as breakdown of the protein. Next, coming to the next part of the associated gland, that is the liver, which is the master of all. If the liver function does not properly, then everything takes place. Okay. So, it is the largest gland and it is located in the right upper part of the abdomen, and basically you can see here this red portion is the liver, and here the pear shaped structure is the gallbladder. And what is the major secretion of the liver is the bile. What does the bile do? Basically it helps in the digestion of fat, or you can say it helps in the emulsification of fat. Apart from that, the liver helps in the storage of glucose as well as helps in the secretion of fibrinogen, and also helps in the breakdown of carbohydrate, proteins, etc. So, these are the certain functions of liver and bile. Okay. Next, moving to the next part of the associated glands, that is the pancreas. What does the pancreas do? Basically the pancreas have both role, that is endocrine as well as the exocrine part. So, what does the endocrine part do? You must be having certain idea about the endocrine part. So, basically the endocrine part secretes hormone. So, these endocrine parts forms the collectively cells, okay, collective cells, that is known as the islets of Langerhans, as you can see here. These are the collective of cells known as islets of Langerhans, and these cells are divided into three parts, that is the alpha cell, beta cell and the delta cell. What does the alpha cell do? It mainly secretes the glucagon, and you can see here that is the blue color, highlighted blue color, dark blue color is the alpha cells, and basically these cells are present only 20% of total in the islets of Langerhans. But next major part of this pancreas or the islets of Langerhans is the beta cells. As you can see here in the diagram is the beta cells, which are the light blue in color, are the beta cells which are responsible for the secretion of a hormone, that is insulin, which maintains our blood glucose level. Okay. And one more interesting point I want to discuss is that the glucagon just act opposite to that of the insulin. Moving to the next part is the delta cells, which secretes two hormones, that is the gastrin and somatostatin. And what are the role of this gastrin and somatostatin, we will discuss in the next video. So, this is all about the endocrine part of the pancreas. What about the exocrine part? Exocrine part is responsible for the certain secretion of certain enzymes which helps in the digestion of proteins and fats. So, this is all about the role of pancreas. Moving to the next part is the intestinal gland. What does the intestinal gland do? We have already know it is secreted from the intestine, helps in the absorption process, and it is of two types. And you can see here in the diagram is the crypts of Leverkuhn, which secretes the major enzyme, that is the enterokinase. What is the role of enterokinase? It basically helps in the conversion of proenzyme into enzyme. In short, we can say inactive enzyme into active enzyme. Example, trypsinogen into trypsin, pepsinogen into pepsin. All this detail we are going to discuss in the next video. Next is the Brunner's gland, which secretes the alkaline, which helps in maintaining the intestinal glands alkaline in nature. That is why the environment inside the small intestine is alkaline in nature. And why the stomach is acidic in nature? Your answer to your question is HCl. So, together we can say these all 5 structure are the associated glands which helps the digestive tract or the alimentary canal in performing the role of digestion. So, in this video, by this end of this video, we have completed the first part of the digestion, that is the alimentary canal and the associated gland. In the next part of the video, we are going to discuss how the digestion of carbohydrate, protein and fat takes place. If you have not watched the first part of the digestive system, then do watch it, do like, subscribe and comment. Thank you and have a nice day.